Peace. Happen now, of course. Now is to vibrate. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now. Finishing up follow-up of the video where I was speaking on astronaut suits. Our bodies being astronaut suits, and the old souls having the pick of the litter, so to speak, on the body suits, incarnating and had the pick of the litter dealing with the body suits and the situation with incarnating on a physical level on Earth, and how our karma is what basically whatever karma we dealing with is what defines what type of situation you're dealing with right now, as far as, like, again, with the body suits I was speaking on, how the older souls got the old souls got the body suits that were more sustainable for Earth. The younger souls got body suits that weren't as good as the metal. Like I spoke on the melanin, like, it's all just a body suit, you know what I'm saying? So the melanated body suits is for the older souls, and then the newer souls that came along had body suits that weren't as again sustainable in the environment, as far as, like, with the sunlight, and just health and things of this nature. But it's a body suit, and it's getting to that point of realizing it more and more, and getting away of looking at it as a race and looking at it as an astronaut suit, and which was funny. If you take it to an egotistical place, people still fuss over what kind of, like, if you had, oh, your astronaut suit better than mine. Why my astronaut suit don't have a little button that do this? Why my astronaut suit don't have a little button that do that? Make me jump like LeBron and float in the air like Michael Jordan. That's another thing too. Obvious facts that you can't ignore, but at the same time, you don't want to harp on an egotistical level as well, But I was speaking on also how we meeting up on a soul family level as well, or just all the old souls. And again, back to shells not having no no matter whether it's a highly melanated shell or a lightly melanated shell, there are light beings manifesting. Matter of fact, and on Venice Beach, like, the vibe, I spoke to it a little bit in the other video, but the vibe is so much like we've been warriors in so many past lives fighting for the same cause. And matter of fact, earlier I had a little situation, like a little flashback type of situation, where me and the brethren was they had somebody, which all the time, if you're unfamiliar with Venice, they have people come through every now and then and hand out stuff to the people, the houseless people, not homeless, but hand out stuff to people that may be houses on the houseless transition. And me and the brethren was looking at that, like, on a spiritual level, especially the people who come out there giving food and giving, like, vegan food and stuff like that, because a lot of us, again, is on a transition. We're not in a houseless consciousness. We're just kind of transitioning through that, dealing with our soul purpose. But we was looking at them like, basically, like they were in a past life those same women who cared for us when we was out at war, like nursing our wounds and making sure we stay fed out there in the field while we was battling and things of this nature. That's the same type of vibe we got right now in Venice. It's just a different type of warfare. It's a spiritual warfare. And now we on a houseless transition in a world where you gotta have the the material things to have a material or physical advantage, so to speak. What I'm saying? It's just in terms of for lack of a better word. But it's a different day and times, but it's that same type of vibe where they're making sure we stay fed so we could keep our vibration high and continue to spread our vibration, whether it's through art, entertainment, just knowledge, whatever it is. It's keeping us on our toes. So, like, when the people come through, and then too, we even got like the vibe where it's like the agents, like undercover, like people passing through to kind of you could just feel the vibe that they are kind of like I don't know, trying to be nosy about the conditions out there and trying to see what type of beings are out there, because it's real spiritual warfare. There are undercover agents in essence looking for X-Men, so to speak, like looking for somebody with some heightened psychic abilities, or you know, just to see what's out there, you know, basically like scouting, you know. But they have little, we'll be vibing and we'll picture like a little scouts, like back probably scouting for, you know, for somebody on the other side of the situation, you know. But you could definitely feel the vibe, man. Another thing too, it just feel like we all was on that front line in past lives and multiple, like we were kind of almost always those souls that were always lined up for this battle, basically. And also being out there, like from just the little simple head nods of speaking to each other and just feeling like, bro, like either you used to be my mom or my sister, you know, we was in the trenches together, but you could just feel that vibe. And again, no matter what color the shell is, no matter if it's a lightly melanated person, no matter what the nationality is, you know, it's about vibration more. And I'm starting to see that, and everyone should start to see that. Like it's a mixed aspect, because again, it's not being negligent and like, oh well, we just gonna ignore melanin because I don't see color and I'm trying to be all that. Like, bro, that's fake. Like that I don't see color stuff, like, yeah, I see color, I just don't discriminate against it though. You know, that is a difference. Like when you go to that I don't see color and that too, it's like you're just trying to be too, it becomes where basically you're being nice on a level where you're also being inauthentic, you know. And that's where you in treacherous grounds as far in a soulful place, because yeah, you have good intentions in essence, but you're being inauthentic, so that's taken away from your vibration. So, you know, it's about recognizing these things and not inauthentically, like, again, like smiling, like, oh yeah, you know, we're different, we act different, but we know we're gonna act like those differences don't exist and this and that. Like, no, you don't acknowledge those differences on an egotistical level, in a manner that allows you to separate, but you do recognize it. My brethren made a good example of like, you know, how we mix and mingle, like, is a natural thing. As far as how he says, like, the seagulls go with the seagulls, the pigeons go with the pigeons, but at the same time, they all vibe together. Like, you know, they all together in certain spots. There'll be, you know, it's like a mix, you know what I'm saying, where it's not no fighting. Like, say for instance, you know, I ain't never saw a pigeon fighting a seagull, but at the same time, they do, birds of a feather do flock together by default or purposely, you know. And it's not only sometimes on the shell situation, so some people flock together dealing with the astronaut suit, you know, with the bodysuit, and some people flock together off of vibration, you know. Some people do a little bit of both, you know. But it's about embracing our oneness, at the same time recognizing and loving our own uniqueness, you know, because that's what allows things to evolve as melanated beings. Matter of fact, as melanated feminine beings, you know, at one time, you know, things got boring with just that one, you know, with that one gender in essence, with that one tone of color, you know what I'm saying, like all of that. You know what? Because that's a personification people don't realize when we talk about, like, you know, at one time everything was perfect and everybody was all like, you know, like the same and this and that. That was like, well, you know, from that darkness, you know, like that perfect black, which I don't, you know, I'm pretty sure you done heard that terminology, but it comes from that. But then, you know, it's like, all right, I'm tired of just dealing with just, you know, just people that look like me. Like, it's almost like looking at yourself all the time, in essence. That's the vibe I get too from the readings of like past lives, of how we felt about that situation. Is like, you know, so we wanted something a little different, and things, you know, move along. We go to genetically messing with things, and then this also, as above so below. I'm talking about on a physical level, but things were happening on a outside of this physical matrix, you know what I'm saying, which trickles down into this matrix, you know. But there was some type of vibration experimentation, for lack of a better word, you know, and it allowed for us to turn into a diverse peoples. But with that experimentation, things went a little south, where we started, you know, where wars and all this started coming about. So basically, you know, the experiment went south.
All night.
But, you know, again, all soul contract, all purposely so, you know. But, you know, that situation went south. So now, right now, we're coming back also to bring that balance of recognizing, you know, like I always bring up the heart got its function, the stomach has its function, the intestines has its function. The moment the intestines try to act like the heart, you're gonna have a problem. The moment the heart try to act like your calf muscle, you're gonna have a problem. The body will be thrown off when one organ tries to act like another organ. So with that being said, you know, you have to be the organ that you are, and respect that, you know, and as different organs respect each other's different purposes and, you know, and operations, you know. But at the same time, understanding that, you know, we are uniquely different, but we are one organism, because we are uniquely different purposes, like uniquely different, so we could work together in essence. Because with it being uniquely different, but then, you know, you're not working together, then you really, you know, or this organ want to be like the other organ, you know, it's ego, like, oh wait, hold on, I'm a heart, well wait, I want to be intestine. Yeah, intestine, like, I want to be a shoulder blade. You know, but I'm being facetious, but, you know, that's the thing, things get out of place, and you start to see where things do have like a certain type of order to it, but not in the essence of, again, being egotistically quote-unquote racist, because there's no such thing as a race, again. But there is, again, different levels of melanin on the skin pigmentation and on the neurological level. But that's the most important one anyway, is the neuromelanin, because that's the one that basically gives us our metaphysical abilities in essence, you know. And then the levels to it, again, the bodysuit. Say for instance, the heavily melanated bodysuit, you go to the planet and it could move swiftly and this and that, because, you know, it got that bodysuit has some materials that's in tune with that land or that place, so, you know, it could feel the vibrations and move swiftly and quickly, you know what I'm saying, compared to a bodysuit that doesn't have that certain chemical in it, so it moves a little slower and uncoordinated, you know. Same difference. So again, you gotta start seeing it as a bodysuit, and, you know, not I'm a white human, I'm a black human, I'm a Asian human, I'm a Indian human, I'm a this human, you know, like you are a vibration on a human experience, and we all got different astronaut suits. Basically, you know, if we was going to into another, so all right, we moved from Earth, all right, and say for instance, since we've been on Earth, let's say that the beings with the good body suits, they've been abusing their body suits. So like those beings with those melanated suits that could do so much, you know, since they've been having them on Earth, they've been abusing them, you know. So bam, when it's time to go to the, let's say, the next planet, then those beings that weren't abusing their body suits, you know, will have the pick of what body suit, you know, the first picks of the body suits for the next planet or situation, you know. And again, this is all channeled information. As a matter of fact, because I want to stop and say, because I'm traveling in uncharted grounds in essence. A lot of my videos about to get into this, because you know, it's getting to that point where I'm here for a reason. I'm here to bring down channel information from my own being, and not to read a book and ain't nothing wrong with that, because we do get information from these places. But you know, to just basically always be elaborating off of other people's channel thoughts, you know, it's like, nah, I want to channel, you know, bring down my own stuff. And two, that's another thing, don't be scared to bring, like, a lot of us are stagnant in our growth right now because we have these types of insights, but we're scared to speak on them. You know, are you scared that somebody gonna think you're racist? Or are you scared somebody gonna think you're a homophobe or this and that? You know, like, if the information is righteous, truthful, you know what I'm saying, and you're coming from a unconditional love space, you know, you shouldn't worry about anything. But again, I want to give that disclaimer that, you know, this information is being channeled. So, you know, for the logic police, the left brain, I done never heard that in the book or seen the book people, you could stop watching this video right now. Cause, as a matter of fact, you know, that way you save yourself some energy. You know, you don't have to comment and say stupid stuff in the comments and all that. You just go somewhere else. We all be happy. You know, but you know, yeah, it's definitely I've been getting a lot of downloads about, basically lately, about the whole experimentation of Earth and like why we here and what's going on now, like how they shift, like all these Hollywood people and entertainers kind of, you know, certain situations getting exposed, and politicians, because it's a breakdown. Matter of fact, the little anime cartoon on Netflix called Neo Yokio, it's like a little spin-off of New York, but it's on a metaphysical level, and it's like a little cartoon. But basically, where the magicians and the people who have the spiritual powers, like shamans, they're living like with a lot of you know, wealth, like physical abundance, and basically they kind of live like on a level like with, you know, with the rich people and like with the world-renowned entertainers and stuff like that, and they do work on that level where they might basically like have to protect a certain entertainer, but they do it with magic, or, you know, having to stop a certain demon from doing something, you know, and they work in that manner. But it's getting to that level where once source bottom out Hollywood and all these places, you know, it's gonna be us high vibrational beings, and I say to fill that spot in the essence of be exactly like Hollywood, but to fill that entertainment void, and not just like, you know, just dry entertainment in essence. But nothing is wrong with entertainment. You know, we're in a physical matrix. It's about just having fun, enjoying ourselves, and expressing ourselves. And some of us express ourselves through being entertainers, you know. So you know, we're gonna be moving into the places that fall out after these earthquakes and all these different things that happen. You know, it's basically gonna set up for, you know, the high vibrational light beings to move in. And even down to me and my brethren having visions, which separately I had visions too of working with like certain entertainers and things of this nature, like on a spiritual level. And even my brethren had visions of working with certain rappers, you know, and giving them, you know, spiritual insight, things of this nature. But we're moving into those times, and it's moving quickly. That's why, again, like lately, it's been a strong fluctuation of energy. Things has been moving fast. From Christmas to like right now, I could say like energy has been moving very swiftly and strongly. As a matter of fact, I don't watch the news, so I don't know what propaganda they throwing at y'all right now. But yeah, things is moving definitely swiftly. So if you do feel like a little uneasy or pull apart, matter of fact, in these types of times, rose quartz and selenite is a great crystal. Matter of fact, rose quartz, selenite, and black tourmaline in combination would be great for right now to really provide that, to chase away that negativity. That selenite gets rid of negativity. Well, the tourmaline really fortifies that protection from negativity. That selenite gonna add that angelic aspect and that light, and rose quartz is gonna add that unconditional love and that just that maternal, nurturing energy that just makes you feel comfortable no matter what. you know, and definitely any type of grounding stones, which tourmaline is one, but to really ground to the energies of Mother Earth, because again, bodysuit, you know, in order for this bodysuit to work right, you gotta constantly connect it to the place it's from, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like when we earthing, you know, getting barefooted and letting that sciatic nerve, you know, from the heel, because the sciatic nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It runs from the heel of your foot of the back, like all the way up to the brain stem, like right where the medulla is. So, you know, you feeling that vibration off of your heel, and it's going all the way up to the brain, you know, and connecting with your consciousness. So that's very important, to make sure your astronaut suit is, you know, is in check. And you gotta take care of your suit, you know. Like, just think about any a person that goes snorkeling, you know, or not snorkeling, but that goes deep diving, and they have these suits on. You know, if they had a tear in this suit, or the suit was made out of cheap material, and a fish passed by it and it had a little slit in it, you know, it's easily damaged, you know, like that's the difference. And a easily damaged bodysuit, you could look at that as being unhealthy. Like, when you're not keeping your bodysuit healthy, you know, and that goes for all beings, because that's another thing too. Health is how could I say, when I'm speaking of the bodysuits, it's not just on no melanated, non-melanated thing, but it is about health as well. Because honestly too, melanin is, when you're highly melanated, it's for the better or the worse as far as its effects, because that's why it's so damaging whenever the melanin is turned to a dysfunctional vibration. It makes the immune system, it kind of like makes the body attacks itself, and our immune system is damaged even more. So it's like a polarization. Just as much as it helps you, you know, it's just as much as it hurts you whenever you're not taking care of your body. So you know, you have that polarization as well. But you know, again, it's just a astronaut suit, and basically right now, you know, we're finding out more and more how much of this is an astronaut suit, and how much, you know, you don't want to let your heart weigh heavier than that feather, basically, you know, like the weighing the scales, you know, in the afterlife. You want to know that you was just a reincarnated being passing through, because the moment you go to dealing with these heavy lower vibrations of, you know, oh, I miss my mama, she really died, or I gotta fight for my people, you know, I gotta do this. Like, you know, when you get attached to this matrix, you know, that's the whole thing of you, when they gonna tell you, you know, go on this line over here. Like, when they tell you go the other way, you know, that's why it's gonna be that way, because, you know, it's because of the vibration, and you holding on to lower vibrations. A lower vibration cannot go to a higher frequency. It's like, it's straight up mathematics. It's like, it's even down to like with us right now, where you starting to find out too, where all the past, you know, friends or people, you know, family members, where we may not be vibrating on the same frequency. It's nothing personal, but it's just mathematics of vibrations. It's like, we don't vibrate on the same frequency. We can't even hold a conversation, in essence, you know. When it's like that, it's like, you can't hold a conversation, you can't really do nothing. How we gonna eat food together, you know what I'm saying? Because we vibrating on totally different frequencies, and it's just a mathematics to it, you know. It's never anything personal on that level. Like, and I always make sure I let any and all people know, anybody who I haven't talked to in a long time or anything, I'm like, you know, bro, it's all love. It's like, matter of fact, maybe just as much love as it was before. I mean, not, you know, but just to say, like, you know, it's just more of vibration. Like, now I'm staying true to my soul, and to stay true to my soul, I can only be around certain vibrations, you know, and that's where, you know, that truth is settling in. Like, matter of fact, what's happening also, what a lot of us is dealing with, you know how some of the lessons we've been pushed to learn, how we kind of procrastinate and try to run from them? Well, right now it's like, again, getting to that, and I made a video about this a while back, not too long ago, about, you know, getting closer to that last call for alcohol. Like, you might want to start moving into the vibration of your soul purpose, because, you know, as these algorithms of whether it's through Mother Nature with the weather or whatever, but as these algorithms come through of making sure, all right, only the high vibration, only the vibrations of this frequency can allow to stay in this program. You know, that's simple that's simple computer, that's computing. You type if statement, you know, if vibration is under, and just an example, 12 pH level in the body, then erase program from matrix. Cause that's all your conscious. You just a program. You know what I'm saying? You just some software, conscious software. And how I spoke on, like, the old people who don't want to grow. That's like old computers that don't want to, you know, allow new software on this hardware. It's like, I know my hardware good. My hardware been running good for all these years. You know, and to each his own. Cause you do have some beings with insight, where they know what they're doing, you know, and even those things may look unhealthy to us on the outside, is what's best for their vessel and their vehicle in this lifetime, you know. Like, I make the points of people who might eat the drywall, like those people eat crazy stuff and, you know, nothing happened to them. You know, we all different. I even, matter of fact, I don't know if I said this on one of my videos, but I was somewhere in some dimension, crystals used to be a food. Cause like some of my crystals, I be looking at them, I just be wanting to chew on them. And sometimes, like, I kind of would think, you know, the first thing crossed my mind was thinking of it like, oh, well, you know, that's the candy aspect. You kind of look at it like candy, but it's like, nah, just like a past life vibration of just like, cause too, it would be certain energies, and I'm like, ooh, I bet you this little crystal tastes good, like, I'll feel good if I ate it, like, you know. And that, again, channeling, you know, old past lives. But right now is the time, y'all. We are lining up, getting on deck. It's time to practice what we preach. You know, a lot of us, you know, and all of us probably been guilty of this at some point in our growth, of being walking books. You know, like we read all the books, you know, and we watching all the videos, but how much of it are we actually practicing, you know, physically? How much of the preaching are we actually practicing, you know, basically? You know, like Barry White say, practice what you preach. I couldn't hit that voice right, baby. Matter of fact, I made a video about that too, like how Barry White, that voice, in a deep voice, it's like a root chakra, you know, hey baby. You know, like a deep bass and bass chakra, you know what I'm saying? So that's why that Barry White voice is intriguing to the ladies, because it stimulates that lower chakra, you know, because of that bass, and the lower chakra moves at a slower, wider wavelength. And the high pitched noises move like this, you know. Simple science and spirituality together, which the Freemasons try to hide from everyone, but can't hide it. The square stands for the masculine energy, because the square makes what? The square makes lines. Oh wait, it's out. And then, oh wait, put it back in the front. And then the compass at the top, you know, the compass at the top is for the curves. You know, the little thing where you put the pencil at one point and then the little point and you draw little circles. You know, that's what, and the G actually stands for a certain scale on the, a certain musical scale, a certain musical note in the musical scale, I should say. So, you know, all that, you know, all the knowledge just coincides together. as above, so below. Once you kind of really get deep into that, you really open up a lot of doors. But you know, that's it. I just kind of want to follow up a little bit on the astronaut suit situation, because when you have that perception of it, it kind of allows for, you know, for a better understanding of the situation at hand, you know, to better understand like what's going on as far as like why we're in the physical, or you know, or what is our fit, you know, like the physical, you know, if it's the ego, then what, you know, how do we use it, you know, like what, you know, and it's like realizing like it's a bodysuit for us to, you know, create and do some things in the physical plane. And again, the Earth is the place where, you know, where a lot of, you know, life could manifest in the physical. But peace to whoever it may concern. Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibe rate. The rate at which we vibing. I gotta talk to y'all this way, because if I look off, it's like, look on the rate at which we're vibing. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right here by the stop sign, man.